Hi everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks, and something completely unexpected hit the front page of the World of Tanks website today, and that is that Wargaming are collaborating with Games Workshop and their popular Warhammer franchise, specifically Warhammer 40,000, to bring out a premium KV-2 with a very unique skin. This specific vehicle is being branded as the Valhallan Ragnarok, but all you really need to know is it's a KV-2 that kind of looks like it's come from the Warhammer universe. Now, of course, the collaboration with Games Workshop is nothing new. They've already released vehicles like this on your mobile phone or on your tablet inside World of Tanks Blitz. And we've kind of seen vehicles from other franchises like the Valkyria Chronicles on the Asia server as well, but that's not arrived on the EU or the NA server. And therefore, this is kind of a big deal that this would hit the EU, the Russian server, and the North American server. Anyway, I'm going to let you know everything there is to know about this premium KV-2, as well as also showing you a premium skin for your BDR of all tanks, give you my opinion on this whole release, and let you know whether I think a premium KV-2 is worth it. So the first important thing to clarify is that the premium KV-2 is identical to the standard KV-2 statistically. And so we don't have to worry about this thing being overpowered like the Nameless frankly is on the Asian server. Next, the premium KV-2 comes with a Brothers in Arms crew as standard, and this is a 0 skill crew with all of the packages available. These crews are absolutely awesome because Brothers in Arms doesn't even count as a skill, at least with regards to how long it takes you to train up your subsequent skills, which makes pushing through the barrier of having 4, 5 or 6 skills just a lot easier. And it's very tempting to replace your Soviet crews and your favorite tanks with these crew members, as it will undoubtedly help you in the long run. One of the most novel aspects about the KV-2 Premium is that its actual skin is applied in the exterior settings. Here we can see it's a preset style Warhammer 40,000 permanent style Valhallan Ragnarok. And so if you're so inclined, you could just remove this from the current vehicle, click apply, and then bam, you've just got yourself a standard KV-2 with all the benefits of having the premium status. One thing to mention is that I can't see my concealment values changing when I have this preset style on, or if I decide to remove this preset style. But if you're so inclined and you go into the exterior, you can create a custom style for your premium KV-2, and as we can see now, my concealment has actually gone up. Although this might be a bug with the tooltip or something that Wargaming are going to patch in the future. Nevertheless, it feels a bit weird that you're kind of making yourself less competitive by using this special style than if you were to just go into the custom style and use the regular camo. Now, undoubtedly, the best thing about the fact that this style is applied through the preset system is that if you absolutely hate the look of this tank and you can't stand it ruining the aesthetic appeal of your World of Tanks game, then you can simply press escape, go to your settings, scroll to the bottom of the general tab, and then click hide non-historical elements. And so you'll never have to worry about seeing a Valhallan Ragnarok premium KV-2 skin messing up your game, and you're only going to see it without the skin, i.e. looking like a regular KV-2. And so thumbs up to Wargaming for creating a system which allows them to make ridiculous looking crazy tanks for those who want to buy them, while still maintaining the historical aspect to their game. And it kind of begs the question that, are Wargaming going to do the same with vehicles like the Patriot? I guess this provides a bit of an issue because they've also got non-skinned Patriot versions of the tank like the T26E5. In addition to the premium KV-2, Wargaming have released one of the most bizarre things I think I have ever seen, and that is a fancy skin for the BDR G1B. And so if you were probably the only person on the server who the tier 5 French heavy tank was your favorite ever tank, then now you can have a Mordian style on your vehicle. And you can do that by purchasing it in the gift shop, going to the exterior, and then adding it on. And again, as this is a non-historical skin, if you don't want to see this, uncheck the box and you won't have to deal with it. It's just so weird for me that Wargaming would choose to put this style on possibly one of the least popular and kind of most irrelevant vehicles anywhere in any tech tree. But I'm not saying the BDR is terrible. It's definitely capable of some great things with some fairly good armor and also a little 90mm that can seriously troll its opponents if it's able to penetrate them. But it just seems like such a bizarre choice. I guess they chose it because it looks like it's from the Warhammer universe. But why they decided to do this and not release a premium version of the tank, for example, is beyond me. Nevertheless, I think this is quite enough time hanging around at the garage. Let's take our premium KV-2 out onto the the battlefield, as I expect a lot of you are very interested as to whether this thing is going to be making premium credits. Alright, so we're going to be rolling out on Paris with our premium KV-2. I have to admit, the model for me, it's quite fetching. I feel like it looks a little bit more in place in the game than something like the Nameless that we saw from the Valkyrian Chronicles. Aiming, and there you go. That's what the KV-2 loves to do. 490 damage to the Comet. That's a non-penetrating shell. If for some reason you're watching this video and you have no idea what the KV-2 is, then I've got lots of KV-2 gameplay on this channel. It almost needs no introduction. It's a dumbass looking tank, but it has a big 152mm main armament, and the best thing about it is this high explosive rounds, as standard, have 86mm of penetration. And if they manage to go through, do 910 average damage. This thing is capable of one-shotting equal tier tanks and even completely decimating higher tiered vehicles as well, although, you know, quite challenging to penetrate. Now, these are standard rounds here. They're not the cheapest, but they're not the most expensive. But I have got premium armor-piercing rounds on my 2 key here, so if you do see me firing those, I didn't even hit that tank. I just splashed near the KV-2 and I managed to do 352 damage to him. But I have got some premium armor-piercing rounds on my 2 key with 136mm of penetration and 700 alpha damage. And that's pretty much it. That's what we've got to do. We just got to try and derp as many shells at our opponents as we possibly can. And I'm worried about this heavy tank number 6, this Japanese heavy who's trying to come up behind me. Okay, so if I just reverse very slowly using my, I guess it's my F key here. I dab the F key once to reverse oh so slowly, and then I use the R key to stop. And that's the best way to come around the corner, because as you can see, the aim time and accuracy on the vehicle is horrific. And this is with a very good crew. I'm using a gun laying drive. I've basically got the aim time down as much as is possible, and so please do take that into account, that you have to do micro adjustments in your movement in the KV-2 to be able to keep that aim time in. But look, we're just doing such consistent large damage shots. When you think about it, this vehicle is kind of like a Type 5 heavy at tier 6. It just doesn't have really broken armor or ridiculous hit points, and so I guess that's why not too many people really care about it. And it's when it does penetrate you, I mean, 900 damage at tier 6 is absolutely brutal, but at least it's not firing premium high explosive rounds at you for 1,400, right? I don't think anyone's ever... Everybody gets a little bit annoyed when the KV-2 does manage to catch you, right? But I don't think anybody is complaining about the KV-2 at tier 6 being the most broken thing in the game. Oh, that little fence post there on that bridge actually stops the shell completely, and so we don't splash on the IS, and I decide I have to get forwards right now to avoid his fire. Now, I get lucky there that the KV-2 missed me. This would have been a very different story if he had, but I felt like this was the only way for me to get safe in the game, because apart from a Leo who seems to be joining us right now, I'm going to fire a high explosive round. It doesn't quite get the Churchill. But you can see that you can actually bounce things quite effectively in this vehicle by using side scraping. So now I am loading a premium armor piercing round because that IS has got 726 hit points, and it's very unlikely that I'm going to penetrate him with my high explosive round. But I feel like if he was aggressive and he exposed his lower plate, or if I was able to maybe shoot underneath his tank as he lopped his way over a ridge, then possibly I could overmatch, because this armor piercing round, this will overmatch all 50mm plates. There are quite a few tanks that will try to side scrape against you when you're playing your KV-2, that you can use these armor piercing rounds to just completely obliterate their vehicle. Taking 700 damage from a tier 6 tank, that's not exactly very welcome in World of Tanks, right? Okay, so here we go. The IS is deciding to make his way down. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Yep, 726 damage dealt there to the higher tiered heavy. Good night, IS. And that puts us right back in this game. We're now only down by 1 tank, and it's also given the Leo an opportunity to be able to flank around. And there we go. We're ricocheting some premium rounds there from the Churchill 7. Another one. You can side scrape well in this vehicle because it's got decent side armor. You can pretty much side scrape against everything. That's what the KV-1 hull is great for. You just kind of angle it at 45 degrees and just pray that lower tier tanks are unable to get you. Now, I've got an eye on this KV-2, and we can see he's still trying to shoot me. I'm loading high explosive rounds again now, I believe. Yep, there we go. But unfortunately, the shell dips, and we don't manage to get the KV-2. Oh, fiddlesticks, come on. Okay, got to get forwards. That's where this tank is a little bit frustrating, that you can splash, you can hit anywhere on the vehicle, you can even miss the tank entirely and still do significant damage to them. But it feels like when you want to make those precise shots, you really cannot rely on possibly the least accurate gun at kind of round about the mid tiers. But when you do hit, you're having fun, right? Okay, so this SU-8 is about to get shut down by the Leo, and this Challenger's trying to have some fun with the IS. I'm going to go and assist the Challenger as I make my way around the corner. Going to speed this up a little bit because this tank is so slow. The Leo puts one in. The Leo, I guess, misses, or maybe he's ammo-racked. Oh well, I'm going to shoot the Challenger there and finish him off. At short range like that, and the fact that you don't even need to hit weak points on the enemy tank, you can just splash anywhere near them or anywhere on their vehicle and you're going to be able to take them out. That's what makes the KV-2 so great. This tank would be phenomenal for somebody who found it very hard to aim at weak points or to micromanage their aim, or maybe just wanted to auto-aim at enemy tanks. You could do very well with that as well. And there you go, WZ131G taken care of, and I'm trying to find out where that M44 is. There he is. Okay, let's try and loop one over the ridgeline at him. I actually managed to spot him because I get a little bit of assistance damage there from the M44. A fairly standard kind of game here on Paris, right? 2,700 damage is great for a tier 6 tank in 7 minutes. But the main question, as I said, a lot of you will be asking is, does this vehicle make premium credits as well as the premium crew training? And the answer is yes. 72,000 credits received for a good game in this tank, but by no means an overpowered game in this vehicle, giving us 56,000 credits profit, because while those high explosive rounds aren't free, you just consistently do damage with them unless you miss, of course. And that was 1,409 base experience points, a high caliber in a higher tiered game, and some nice crew training for my Soviet heavy tanks to boot. The KV-2 has always been the king of the derp. It's a fan favorite, and the fact that now there's a premium KV-2 in the game, yeah, I was definitely going to buy one. But is it going to be my go-to tank now for making credits? Certainly not. You have to remember that tier 6 premium tanks make far fewer credits than tier 7, which subsequently make far less than tier 8. But at tier 6, a really good game, you can probably get yourself about 50k with a premium account, but at tier 8 you're kind of packing like 100k for a really good game. So definitely take that into consideration when you see the price tag for the KV-2, and that's because, boy, this is the most expensive tier 6 premium tank I have ever seen. £23.47, and that is just for the KV-2, I guess for the Brothers in Arms crew, which there's no doubt the Wargaming have added in here to sweeten the deal, but that is exceptionally expensive for a tier 6 premium tank. You could get yourself a Rudy, which comes with a dog and 4 of the Brothers in Arms crew for £12.68, so Wargaming are literally doubling the price just for this Ragnarok style set. And I guess that's because it is a collaboration with Games Workshop, who are renowned for making a lot of money with, albeit very high quality, sculpted plastic. But the fact that you could buy yourself an FE4202, an STA2, a Revolurise, a Super Pershing, any of the tier 8 premium medium tanks for that price and make full blooded tier 8 premium credits means that I would never recommend this for somebody who wanted to get the best bang for their buck. And as for the Mordian skin, while there's no doubt that it makes my BDR look really cool, it costs $10. I bought this, and I can say this is the worst money that I have ever spent in World of Tanks. The fact that I bought a custom skin willy-nilly for a vehicle that I really couldn't give a darn about unless I was playing through a tech tree showcase, when I could have bought an entire other game for this price, is simply ridiculous. Now I presume that this is just going to be content that isn't for me, right? Maybe some of you out there are very keen Warhammer 40k players, and whatever the Mordian is, then perhaps you're going to absolutely love this. It just seems so weird that you're putting this on a standard BDR. Why didn't Wargaming put this on something really exciting, like a mouse, or even just have bothered to make a premium BDR to go along with the skin? It just seems so weird. But maybe this is all just some kind of a test for them to see what people like, what people don't like. And one thing's for certain is that I would far rather Wargaming made money selling skins than selling overpowered premium tanks. So while I'm not going to be overly negative about this, I feel like the implementation, it could have been a little bit better. However, conversely, there is one thing that I am seriously not happy about, and that is that there's no opportunity to purchase the KV-2 premium tank just by itself without having to pay the £10 tax to have the Ragnarok style set. This is the first time that a KV-2 premium tank has been made available, which is undoubtedly going to be a super popular vehicle. The KV-2 is a fan favorite and one of the tanks that everybody goes to when they've just had enough and they want to see a one-shot, or they just don't want to have to aim and keep derping in high explosive rounds. And this tank should cost, at most, £13. And I really question about whether a skin on the KV-2 is worth £10. But more importantly, why couldn't we have just bought the KV-2 by itself? Which feels like a massive kick in the teeth for a tank collector who wants to have the premium KV-2, even though statistically it's exactly the same as the regular KV-2, but has no interest in Warhammer 40,000 buying the Ragnarok style set, or frankly giving Wargaming extra money, and undoubtedly Games Workshop their cut of the proceeds. And so all in all, to conclude, I'm really conflicted about this whole release. There's a lot of really good things about it, and there's also a few things that I feel that was overlooked. And so that's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. I hope this video demystified you about this whole Warhammer 40,000 World of Tanks collaboration, or maybe you just enjoyed watching some KV-2 derp action. If you did, please consider giving this video a thumbs up, but if you hated it, give it a thumbs down. And I'm sure there is a lot to talk about in the comments down below. Do you think this collaboration looks like a match made in heaven? What do you think about the price of the KV-2 and the fact that we have to buy it in a bundled form? And after this video, are you going to be checking hide non-historical camo inside World of Tanks? And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.